Sorry, it's kind of long. Oops. Okay. So, when I sat down to write the speech for Sophie, I felt honestly overwhelmed by the attributes of hers that I could applaud, the stories that I could tell, and all the feelings that I have about her leading us next year. So, upon getting into the group, I was honestly and truly terrified of all of the upperclassmen girls and their styles, their confidence, and their talent. Sophie specifically was hilarious from the moment I met her and would be cracking jokes nonstop, and the noob in me could only hope to one day execute relatable humor as well as she does. Sophie was an absolute goddess of the alto section, and her confidence with our parts and attention to detail in our arrangements has made my learning in the alto section drastically easier. Whether Sophie is beautifully singing The Scientist or literally slaying on the Stones medley, her versatility with songs is something that I can only hope to acquire as the years go on. Sophie may seem to some slightly intimidating, but once you get to know her, she is just a quote-unquote snuggle bean, as her group name states. I'm going to miss Sophie next year for a lot of reasons, but mostly for being one of my biggest advocates in this group. Whether she is amping me up to be confident in our part because I do in fact know it regardless of my doubts, or she is helping me with my first solo auditions by validating my fears about which songs I was going for, she completely soothed my worries and made me feel as if there was not a thing I could not do. My favorite thing about Sophie is that she so deeply understands how to empathize with people and break down and help them through problems. This quality is rare and makes Sophie all the more admirable, respectable, and lovable. I value your opinions so much, Sophie, so please be expecting lots of calls next year when you're in DC. This semester I took an astronomy class called Deciphering the Sky, and this class consisted of the majority of the men's soccer team and myself. And I would often tell Sophie how I had no friends in the class and how I rarely even spoke to anyone in it. During Broad Street rehearsals, I was working on a map of the sun's transit times, and it was so confusing that Sophie and I decided that the only way for me to get out of doing my work was to tell everyone in the class that I was in fact blind. So, while I never actually followed through, we have spent the entirety of second semester talking about how I just can't see a thing, and how I would only be able to follow through on my work with the help of the soccer team. Everyone always tells tells the noobs that over tour is when we truly get the closest as a group, and I definitely think that is true. My relationship with Sophie grew even stronger when our band bonded over a deep love for the late phone app known widely as Vine. And while Vine is gone, it is never forgotten, and Van A truly celebrated its glory in the countless hours spent driving up and down the East Coast on our January tour. I truly do not think I have ever laughed so hard, whether it was because Eliza, Sophie, Charlotte, and I were laughing over the recreation of probably too many Vines, or all of us dying over the fact that the Jacob Greif was really into a One Direction song. The times where I was navigator and Sophie was behind the wheel were some of the best parts of tour, and I will really miss that next year. At every formal or social event, I can always count on Sophie to dance with me, and when things get a little crazy, she will actually break it down on the dance floor with Zach. And the place that they go to is a level that I do not think I have the physical ability to reach. But it is nonetheless one of the most fun things to watch. While I know Sophie is only a phone call away, I will obviously see her again, I cannot thank her enough for changing my freshman year, not only at Colgate, but also in the Resolutions. I will leave you with this. While the road will inevitably work ahead, I really do hope it does, because without Sophie here in this group, she is a crucial contributor to the silliness, and will be deeply missed. I love you, Sophie. Thank you for everything. Please come back and visit.